Hello, everybody. I'm Dr. Judy True. I am the editor-in-chief of the New Gastroenterologist, and this is Private Practice Perspectives. Joining me is Dr. Peter Naas of Gastroenterology Associates in Greenville, South Carolina. He's here to share with us some insights on how young physicians can best position themselves for a successful career in private practice gastroenterology. Peter, welcome.
Thank you for having me, Judy.
So tell me, just to start from the beginning, how did you choose private practice gastroenterology?
I had a little bit of exposure to private practice gastroenterology while going through medical school with some local gastroenterologists in my hometown. And at that time, I really wasn't interested in gastroenterology, but the private practice part became very interesting to me as I advanced in my career and was exposed to more. I got to see how academics worked, how hospital employment worked, how the VA employment worked. It seemed like the right fit. I probably made my decision in my second year that this was really the option I wanted to pursue for my career.
We have a lot of trainees considering private practice, but there are a lot of different types of practices to consider. What should they understand? What should they be thinking about?
You really want to think about what your goals for your career are, and if whatever mode of practice you choose can meet those goals. And as you look at individual private practices, you want to check and see if the practitioners within those practices can help you meet those goals. If you go to a practice where they don't want to handle challenging cases, difficult Crohn's disease cases, advanced endoscopy, cirrhosis, especially decompensated cirrhosis, but that's something you want for your career, then you need to consider a practice that either does or maybe focusing on that within another employment model.
The other thing that comes up a lot, especially with our young fellows, is work-life balance. We find more and more that in order to have longevity, in our careers, work-life balance or integration can be very important. When joining the workforce, what are some expectations, especially when newly joining?
So, graduating fellows should expect practices to adjust to a work life balance model. It is something that all practices know that is important to the next generation. And if a practice wants to continue to exist, then we must embrace this. Some of this is going to depend on where you're interviewing. If you are interviewing in a high demand area, you're not going to have a whole lot of leverage in your negotiations. Now, if you're looking at a underserved area or a place that has had difficulty recruiting, you might have a lot more luck.
A common mistake that I remember when I was entering my job search, my mentor said, don't go for the highest paying job blindly. Know the full package and the contract is, because as trainees, that dollar sign can be very attractive. So what are other some common mistakes that you see some young trainees can make when they're joining a private practice?
So it seems like a lot of young trainees don't fully understand the ownership models that they're signing on to when they join. And it's okay to want those details. And it's okay to sit down and make sure that you understand when you're going to join a practice and become a partner, how long it's going to take you to be a partner, what the expectations to make partner are, and then once you make partner, is there a buy-in process? Is this going to cost you money? How is that money funded? Do you have to take a loan? Are you able to pay for that from ancillaries that you will then get in becoming a partner? When we interview people and they want to know our processes, that shows a degree of maturity and intelligence, and I appreciate that.
Now that they're starting a practice, building a practice can be pretty challenging too. What are some tips that you can provide for young trainees here once they enter their practice and on trying to build a practice?
Some of that will depend on the model you're joining. If you go to, say, a multi specialty practice, you're going to have a little bit of built in referral network. If you're in single specialty, you will have to earn a lot of that on your own. And it's okay to ask, will I get open access colonoscopies? Will I get new patients? If there's another physician retiring, ask, what's the plan for this physician's patient population? Does that all come to me? Is that distributed amongst the other partners? Um, it's okay to be forward and ask the people you're interviewing with, how can I build up? Because they want you to build up. They're investing in you. It will serve them to have you full and working and taking care of people.
Mm.
When you get there, be available. Be affable and available to your referrers, to your patients. You're your own best referral source. If patients like you, they will send their friends and family. If physicians like you, they will send their patients, their friends, and their families. And if you go and meet a physician, give your cell phone number. That goes a long way. Primary care really appreciate that. If you have a finding on a colonoscopy, you diagnose a cancer, pick up the phone, call the referring physician, let them know, and then say, hey, that's my cell phone. If you ever need it, give me a text, give me a call, and build relationships. It really goes a long way. Be part of your community. When you're out in the community and involved in the community, people see you, people know what you do, and people will begin to develop relationships and trust with you, which is so important in care.
That's great. I think that that is something that I would probably end up sharing with some of my fellows who are graduating as well. Um, so thank you again for joining us. Get everybody. This is Dr. Peter Naas with Gastroenterology Associates in Greenville, South Carolina. It was very insightful, and thank you again for joining us for Private Practice Perspectives.
Thank you for having me, Judy.